Hello everyone. Welcome to our new series where we look at how business empires started, what made them grow from 1 to 100 and what are the inspirations we can draw from them. In 1911, while most of India still relied on bullock carts and walking for transportation, a man in Madurai had a radical idea. What if people had access to reliable, scheduled transport that didn't involve four legs and a wooden cart? That man was Sundaram Iyengar. A trained lawyer and successful banker, he shocked everyone when he left his stable job to chase something no one else in South India had dared, launching the region's first organized bus service. To many, it looked like madness. To him, it was purpose. Iyengar wasn't just trying to move people, he was trying to move the nation forward. He founded Sundaram Iyengar and Sons and launched buses with disciplined timetables, uniformed drivers, and customer service policies long before anyone thought such things mattered. In a time of chaos, he built order. His company soon expanded from transport to service stations, spare parts, and dealerships. He built not just a business, but a reputation for integrity and quality that stood firm even during global shocks like World War II and India's independence. When he passed away in 1955, his family took the wheel. And they didn't just maintain the course, they stepped on the gas. In the 1970s, India was beginning to open up to the idea of personal mobility. Cars were a luxury, but the masses needed something else: affordable, reliable, fuel-efficient transportation. And that's when TVS did something that changed the game forever. They created the TVS 50, India's first indigenously designed and manufactured two-seater moped. It was small, affordable, and built like a tank. It didn't matter if you were a school kid, a shopkeeper, or a farmer, this machine fit everyone's lifestyle and budget. It sipped petrol like a miser, zoomed through traffic like a dream, and could be fixed with a wrench and some love. Launched in 1980 under the TVS-Suzuki partnership, the TVS 50 wasn't just a product, it was a revolution. It gave ordinary Indians extraordinary mobility. Rural postmen used it. Delivery guys swore by it. Students rode it to college. It wasn't glamorous, but it was everywhere. But then came 2001. Suzuki, the Japanese giant, pulled the plug on their joint venture. Just like that, TVS lost its technology partner, its international badge, and years of technical support. For most companies, this would have been a crisis. For TVS, it was a challenge waiting to be conquered. Suddenly alone in a fiercely competitive market dominated by Hero, Honda and Bajaj, TVS had no choice but to reinvent itself fast. And they did. They launched their own in-house R&D division. With no Japanese safety net, they developed their first fully homegrown motorcycle, the TVS Victor. It was a roaring success. It wasn't just a survival story, it was a masterclass in resilience. But they didn't stop at surviving. They started winning. The Victor paved the way for the TVS Apache, a bike built with racing DNA. Instead of playing catch-up with the market, TVS started setting the pace. They invested in motorsports, introduced track-tested tech into street bikes, and positioned Apache as a brand for young, speed-loving Indians. TVS focused on something most companies ignored: emotion. While others competed on mileage, TVS spoke to pride, identity, and the thrill of the ride. And then, just as the world began to whisper about electric vehicles, TVS jumped again, this time into the future, with the iQube. Clean, connected, and quietly powerful, it proved one thing: even after a century, TVS hadn't lost its edge. But if you trace all of this back, the mopeds, the motorcycles, the electric scooters, it all begins with Sundaram Iyengar. A man who didn't see a bus, he saw a bridge. A connection between where people were and where they could go. Even today, TVS runs not just on fuel, but on his founding values: discipline, service, trust, and long-term thinking. So, what can we learn from his journey? First, dare to disrupt. He left a secure job to start something wildly uncertain. Second, built for people, not just profits. His buses weren't about revenue, they were about empowerment. Third, adapt or die. From bullock carts to e-scooters, TVS has evolved with every era. And finally, remember, legacy isn't something you inherit, it's something you build, brick by brick, wheel by wheel. TVS didn't just build vehicles. They built India's belief in movement, literal and metaphorical. If that's not inspiring, what is?